So I think we've done a pretty decent job of applying custom domains using the their label plugin. So let's now have a look at how to do it with the other option, which is this coalias. So what we could do is we could actually just copy this and have two methods of doing custom domains, and you could actually have one that's perhaps free, so this one could be free, and then you could have the premium version of custom domains. So let's go to our sidebar. Let's show the custom domain section here, and we'll call this group custom domain their label, and then we'll have another group custom domain coalias. And we can call that one basic, and this one premium. Right, and another thing which I haven't mentioned yet, but is really, really good idea to do, I don't do it enough, as you can probably tell, is to use workflow folders, because it helps you to organize your workflows much better. So we can add a new folder here called their label, and then we'll go here and we'll say when continue is pressed, then go put it, let's put it in their label. I've added details can be in their label, and close pop-up can be in their label, and remove custom domain can be in their label, set up custom domain can be in their label as well. So now we have all the buttons, all the workflows related to their label workflows are all within this folder. So definitely recommend doing that, and also using colors as well. So for example, I could go in here and change the color of all of these to red. And that way when I'm looking at the workflows, I can see easily which ones are related to a certain thing. Right, so to get started with coalias, the first thing you need to do is add their plugin. So go to add plugins, put in multi domains, and it's this one here. So they were previously called No Code Mayo, which is why you see two plugins, but they've rebranded recently. And then you can see that they need API key. So if we go here and do sign up, so on this page, we're first going to put in the link to our Bubble app, which is currently going to be this. And this where it says choose your free domain, that is just basically they allow you to have one free domain on their custom domain.site, which is a domain that Coalias owns. They allow you to have one free kind of subdomain on there so you can test their service without having to actually do anything. So I'm just going to call that no code life, and then click setup. And then the next bit is you get taken to Stripe, so you need to actually enter your payment details. Okay, so I've just put in my card details and started my 7-day free trial, after which point I will be charged. So if you are just testing this out, don't forget to cancel before the end of that 7 days. Now you can set things up manually in the dashboard, but we are going to actually be using the API. So first we're going to grab this API key. And we're going to go back into here, and we're going to put the API key in both boxes. Then we're going to go back to our sidebar. So here we've got custom domain, premium. So when they click that, we want it to actually open up a different pop-up. But let's copy this custom domain pop-up. And we'll call this custom domain coalias. And let's just show all the steps here. So I think we're not going to need step 2. But this is going to be the same. So when they enter their domain here and then they press continue, we are first going to go to our plugins, and you can see we've got a load of new actions we can take here. So we are firstly going to do add domain, and here we're going to do input. Okay, I need to name this differently. So we're going to get input premium domains value. Then we're going to do another action, which is going to be add root. So the from root is going to be the value that they typed into that box, but with a slash on the end. And the to root is going to be /p/ sidebars page RGs slug. And the param for type is going to be iframe. And we only want to do this when the result of step 1, response success, is yes. And then I'm just going to make changes to our pages page. I think we have a field here called custom domain, so I'm just going to say equals input premium domain, just as a way of storing this so I know that this custom domain has been applied. And then next they need to add one DNS setting. So I'm going to say, please add the following DNS settings. Your domain dashboard. And it is type a record, host is star, the host is @ and then value is 76762121. So this is just standard for all coalias domains. And then between 5 minutes and so when they click close pop-up, we want to hide pop-up. And the other thing is that when they click continue, we want to set the state, and we'll just use the same domain setup step we had before. So I'll change that to 2, and then let's make this so when step is less than 2 or empty, then it's visible, and we want this to be 2. So when it is 2, then this is visible, and check the visibility, collapse when hidden, great, collapse when hidden. Okay. So, and yeah, just to mention, this DNS setting, this A record here, is the same for everyone that uses coalias. It's always the same. So there's nothing else you have to do here. So actually the setup process for this and the workflows is much simpler than their label. Now let's give that a go. So first I'm going to dive into Namecheap, where I found another one of my domains that has never been used, and we're going to take that domain. Let's go back to here. Okay, I've got remove custom domain, right. And let me just check that the buttons are okay. So let's remove these conditions from this button, because in here we also have that remove button as well. So okay, we can ignore those for now. We'll set those up in a second. So let's go in here, set up custom domain. All right, we didn't have the workflow. And we also need to add a workflow. And we also need to add a workflow to this button to show the appropriate pop-up. So set up custom domain, nocodeexperts.com. And we need an A record with this value. Right, so let's go to nocodeexperts.com. So after waiting for about 20 minutes, I came back to nocodeexperts.com and we can see that something has deployed here. So it is pointing at a bubble site, but it says your bubble application has not been deployed to live yet. So I checked in my coalias dashboard. So if you go to domains here, you can see this is the one we set up when we created the account, and this is nocodeexperts.com. So it says it's configured okay, but I went to manage, and then you can see that it's pointing at page builder 123/p/Joe blog. So the thing that's missing here is the version test, because we haven't yet deployed our app to live. It's still in the version test. So one option could be that we could go in and we could say in our sidebar in the workflow, so where is it? So let's just give this a different color. And let's put it in a new workflow folder. Okay, and then here we can add in version-test. And I think we need another slash here. Only when is yes, and live isn't live version is yes. So, and then we can copy this and paste, and then we can get rid of the version test. So isn't live version is no. So when it's the live version, it will do it with this route, and when it's the test version, it will do it with this route. So that should work, but first we need to make a way for you to, or a user to, delete the custom domain. So let's copy this button. Just as we did before. So we need to decide how we're going to know if we're going to show these or not. So here we had make changes to the page custom domain equals something. So let's just use that. So when var pages custom page custom domain is not empty, this element is visible. Otherwise it's not visible. And then copy that. And when it is empty, then this element is visible. And then so when someone clicks delete custom domain, we want to start a new workflow, which we'll put into the coalias folder and make it green. And that is going to delete domain. And the domain is going to be var pages custom domain. And then make changes to the page. Custom domain is empty. And then we'll show an alert. Custom domain deleted. Right, and one more thing that I didn't do the first time round, but we should have done, is you can also, there's another action, add meta. So this is where we can specify all the different things like the favicon and site name and so on. So that's the domain. Site name equals sidebars page RG's name. Page RG's name. Okay, so for this, let's actually put page builder, and then description can be sidebar page RG's tagline. This can be sidebar page RG's avatar, and this can be var page social image. So yeah, by adding that, we are going to add all of those different fields, which will be useful for the way the page is displayed. So let's try now and see if we can delete that custom domain. Delete custom domain. Okay, so let's come back to coalias, and you see it's already gone. So now if we go back here and we do setup custom domain, okay, so we've already added that. So let's close the pop-up and wait. And while we're doing that, let's do a loading. Let's do a loading state. So loading is no, and then copy and paste that. Loading is yes. Drag that to the start, and then when someone presses continue, is this in the right one? Yep. So on coalias. So when sidebar's loading is yes, please wait and not clickable. So that's great. And let's have a look at no code experts. Okay, great. So that has loaded on the custom domain, and let's just see on here, it's already there. So it should have site name, site title, description, the favicon looks right, SEO image empty. Okay, because we haven't done that part yet. Okay. And I'm not sure why it's not updating up there, but it might be cached. We'll come back to that later. Because the favicon is the standard bubble one. It could be because I don't actually have that title on the page. So let's have a look. The page we definitely haven't set a custom title there. So there should be current page name. So we'll go through later and we'll set these up so that they're all dynamic. I'm not sure if that will take effect. Let's have a look. Okay, yeah, so that's updated already. And yeah, so now we have the ability to do custom domains two different ways, and both of them seem to work pretty well. So as a final step, let's just add this currently active on for the coalias as well. So if we go to sidebar and then currently active on. So we already have the text here, but we want it on var pages custom domain, and we only want to display this text when var pages custom domain is not empty, then this element is visible. And we've got delete and we've got remove, so let's just change remove. That's better. Okay, great.